We're looking at the spine and opening the joints in the spine. Now, in the past, I think not so long ago, we talked about releasing the coccyx here. So you've got these five little bones in the coccyx, which are at the base here. So here's your pelvis, yeah, and here's the sacrum here, that bone, and then you've got these little bones here at the base, which are flexible, but they're not on my model here. So they're loose. They're the bits you can damage if you sit down badly or you fall onto your coccyx. Can be really sore if you fall onto them. So this is the bit we're going to release as well. This here, the sacrum, doesn't release terribly easily because it's all welded together. It's fused. The whole thing is basically one bone. And here, as you can see, you've got these sacroiliac joints. So this is the ilium, this is the sacrum, and this is the ilium, and this is called the sacroiliac joint. So here we have a little bit of flexibility between the ilium and the sacrum on the joint, but not an awful lot. So, although the hip can move a fraction, it doesn't move very much. So when you tend to do a pelvic tilt, you bring the sacrum with you. When you tuck your bum under like that, the sacrum will tend to go, and the coccyx with it, because you haven't actually got a lot of independent, if any, independent movement with your coccyx. So this is the bit we need to release here, and we need to release on top. So this is my model. How's he standing today? Wait a minute, let me see. So he's not too bad. Oscar's not too bad here. So these are your running down here, these bits here sticking out. You can feel it on your own back. You know, they're the bits, that little pointy bits on your back. Depends how much muscle you've got there on those erector spinae muscles, which run out either side. You've got these thick cable of muscle that runs up on either side to support the spine. So these here are the bits that we're kind of interested in, not to do anything. Well, because when you do a pelvic tilt, you're actually going to allow these gaps to widen slightly here. The gaps will actually open as you tuck your pelvis under. And I know that if I go and tuck Oscar under, I'll never get him out, but let's give it a go. So basically what happens is you tuck Oscar underneath and suddenly you can see the gaps have got wider. Whereas if I close him up again, oh, he's behaving a bit. So yeah, he's disconnected there a little bit. So what we want is this action here of tucking your pelvis under. And here, the tip of your coccyx, this kind of leads you through in a way. So the feeling is that you lift the tip of the coccyx up the front here. But of course, as soon as you do that, the pubic bone here, this is the pubic bone on the front, which you can all just feel just by prodding there, it actually lifts up. So we engage the front of the body in order to lift this up at the front here. And really what you're doing is, I mean, I know we talk about using some muscular tension, for want of a better word, at the front, but really what you're doing inside here is your dantian. It's your center, your hara, your core. And what we're really doing is we're rotating the body like this around it. So when we tuck under like this, we're almost like rotating around a ball. This is, you can see it's like a bowl. It's going underneath and up. So what we're after when we do opening the spine is we're after doing a pelvic tilt, but what you might call a natural pelvic tilt without over forcing it. And the rotation needs to come from the middle here, as I say, it needs to come from there, rather than you just go, I mean, we can all put a hand here and really push up here, really pull your muscles up, tighten them up here and lift the pubic bone that way, which is me just going like really force it up, like pushing up there. And you can all do it. And it's quite useful to be able to do it. So, oh, well, fine. So when we do this, what we're really doing is we want to do our pelvic tilt with a kind of equal balance on front and back. Now, can all make this happen first of all. So I want you to really pull up in the front here. So you really, really pull, and you can feel your pelvis maybe tucking under. If you put your hands on your hips here like this, when I do a big pelvic tilt, look, my thumbs have gone down and my hands have gone forwards like that a little bit. So yeah, we can all make that happen. Yeah, it's fine. And it's a good way to sort of learn to ease the muscles off. So when you do that, you really let your pelvis tuck under and you'll feel your thumbs maybe go. So we're forcing it at the moment. Really, really force it. Go as far as you possibly can. And if you stay there, once you're there, you should feel that this bit of your spine here has kind of flattened out a little bit. It'll feel you've lost the S bend in your back. Right, so we need all that. But ideally, what you do is you actually relax your back. So when you completely let go there, so go to norm, just go to normal. Okay, you can bend your knees a little bit. Let's just cheat a little bit and bend the knees instantly, which is not right, but we'll do it. Okay, so now just try really relaxing here in the small of your back so that the spine just does this and opens. Now, when you do that, this will start to lift. It has to, doesn't it? It's like a football. If you drop the back and relax it, the front is naturally going to rise a little bit. You're going to get that rotation. And where we're rotating off is within us, as I showed you on the model. We're going to rotate from internally so you get that sensation. And this is how we sit down. So in Qigong, when you do this, you sit down this way. I'm not moving on to sitting down yet, particularly, but this is the start of it. What I'm most interested in here is what you do with your spine when you sit down. So we're going to just do the sitting down. We're not going to talk too much about it, but we are going to now just relax your back. You can let your knees bend. You feel this rotation internally, and the spine's all nicely opened here. Yeah? Okay. So that's it, except it's not quite. Because what happens is your spine is very much, let me just grab Oscar again, who's taken a tumble on the floor. So what happens is when you open this part of your spine, you also need this part to release as well. So it's rather like a seesaw works. If you push down on one side of this, here's Oscar's now become a seesaw. If I push down on this side needs to lift. It's the same principle. It's with your back. So when I release the lower back here, the lumbars and the lower thoracics, when I just allow these joints here to undo here and to open, he's gone a bit out of shape again, in fact, quite seriously, but anyway. So when I let this open here, I need to feel that this lets go as well. So that means that when you do something to your lower back, you need a reciprocal event taking place in the upper back. So you're standing normally, okay, just be normal, okay, and now then just release your lower back, let your knees bend, and as you feel the back opening there and this sort of beginning to flatten out, just relax between your shoulder blades and up into your head. Okay, now then, Oscar's not going to be able to demonstrate this very well, but roughly speaking, this is how he works, or how you work. So you've got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's your, or sorry, it's the other way around actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is number 7, and this is the vertebra that sticks out a little bit on the back of your neck. 80% of people. Not everybody. Some people that doesn't stick out very much. But if you rub your hand down, and it's slightly below the level of your shoulder, probably, okay? And you'll get, particularly if you tip your head forward, one of those vertebrae will stick out more than the others, usually, not always. So your neck, if that's number 7, that's where you've just prodded if you were able to find it. But even roughly in that area is fine. But actually, this is the anatomical length of your neck. Okay, these are cervical vertebrae in your neck. And now from down onwards here, so there's 7. This one now is the first thoracic, and it carries on down to number 12. So when you do this with your head, it doesn't just stop there. It actually carries on down to about number 1, 2, even to 3, and possibly even to 4. So for example, let me get rid of that again. When you turn your head, say you're going to turn your head left. Okay, it hasn't just stopped on cervical 7. It's actually gone down to about number 3 or 4. So the twist, it kind of gets less as it goes until it doesn't move any more further down. But when you turn your head left or right, that's actually what's happening. You're actually involving your upper thoracics as well. It's not a clear cut cut off the point where something does one thing, another does another thing. There's an overlap. Okay, so what happens is the bones are all joined together by ligaments. Yeah, you've got ligaments joined. This is not cartilage, is something different. The bones are joined together by ligaments so that when you move one bone, it pulls on the ligament, which pulls the next bone, which pulls on the next bone, which pulls on the next bone, which pulls on the next bone. And this carries on down and with an decreasing incremental amount. You know, it gets less as it goes down. So when we do this now, and we're going to go pelvic tilt, and we're going to just allow this to open. Yeah, just bend your knees and just release your back so you feel this tilt happening a little bit. And if you need to force it, force it. Yeah. But now you need to release in the neck. You need to release the ligaments in your neck. So we're not turning the head now, but you will find, if you can feel anything going on, you'll find that something starts to lengthen up here, possibly. And ideally what you want is you want a lengthening from right up behind here in the occiput. You want that lengthening to take place all the way down your back to where it's definitely opening here. So in other words, all the vertebrae in the back go like this and they all open out, but not nearly as much as that. That would be worrying. So off we go. So let's take a look at this. So all you do is very gentle pelvic tilt. You can either push it, pull it in here, or just try releasing the back and see if the pelvic tilt happens. And don't forget your neck. And undo. So we're just going to go in and out of this several times. So it's not 1, 2, it's 1. But we're leading here at the moment. Okay? And go. And then you just undo it. When you've gone there, just undo and do it a few times. So we don't have to sit down a lot. It's not necessary. Release the back and the back of the neck. The two things need to be absolutely tied up together. Like your seesaw, if you push one end of a seesaw, the other end doesn't wait and then go up. It goes up at exactly the same time. So this should be your spine. Now, in Alexander's technique, just keep doing it. In Alexander's technique, they talk about freeing the head, releasing the spine, allowing the back of the neck to about allowing the head forwards and upwards back to lengthen. They have these instructions, and this is precisely what it means. So the back to lengthen is this feeling of the spine simply opening out. And if you can get this feeling of the whole spine undoing, that's what we're after. Okay, now then, when we do standing Qigong, what we have is we have a feeling of the body behaving, and I think I might have mentioned this before, but we have the feeling of the body behaving like, in fact, I seem to remember doing this on film before, so we almost definitely have. So we've got our avocado stone, right? If you like, you've got a bulb in the garden, you know, it's a spring bulb or whatever. Avocado is quite nice because of the way that it grows. So if you grow an avocado stone from, you know, whip it out your supermarket avocado, stick it in water, support it, you know, 3 matchsticks on the glass. Bottom's just, there's the bottom of the avocado. It's just covered by water, so that only the bottom's covered. You leave it for a week, a month, whatever. And gradually the stone, which is like, it goes like this and it splits. And the avocado shoot comes out the bottom here, which is where your spine is, where your sacrum is, and it comes out the bottom and it starts going up through. But what happens to the stone, and this is the crucial bit, there's your spine going up, yeah? But the crucial bit here is the avocado stone gradually falls away and becomes part of the earth. So it feeds the avocado, you know, it's a nice bit of design there. So all you're going to do is you have to feel as though your body is the avocado stone. Here's the shoulders, parts of the avocado stone, not the shoot. Shoulders are part of that. This is part of that. The arms, they're part of the shoot going down. Everything is going down. Everything except for your spine, which is releasing to go up, but you definitely do not force it. So all we're going to do is we're going to drop the bum, open up the back, release the neck, and shoulders, be aware of them. They're part of the stone. They should feel heavy. Yeah, and come out of it. So this is our sitting down process. It's the beginning of it, but you have to have the spine releasing here. Now, it's very, very tempting to try and force your head upwards from the neck. Please, please don't do that. This is just good for a headache. So you release the neck. So this is a little bit like you've got a balloon and you're in water. Your head is the balloon, and all that happens is the balloon continues to float whilst the body sinks down into the water. And your spine is the string going all the way down to your sacrum. All the way down. So when you release the back, you soften the sacrum, you soften the middle back, you soften the neck, you soften right up into the occiput where the spine finishes. And one more. Good. Okay. So all we're trying to do here, everything we're doing, we can apply to Tai Chi. Everything we're doing. So let's just have a look at a simple move here. Have I got anything else I want to do before I get there? I don't think so. No. So last week in this, we talked about opening the joints. The joints of the hands, you feel like the bones are widening. You know, you're in this position here, the bones are widening. But this is what we're doing with the spine. We're opening the joints of the spine. We're allowing that to happen. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. This is to do with you releasing the tendons in your body. So the tendons are the bit of the muscle at the very end which join onto a bone, okay? So it goes tendon, muscle, tendon, and obviously the tendon has an interleaving sort of join to the muscle. It's not like tendon, muscle. There's a sudden division. It's more like that. So we want the tendons to release. They're the things that tighten up more when we get older. We want them to actually have elasticity, to maintain elasticity. The ligaments join bone to bone. So for example, if we've got, there's a vertebra, okay, or vertebrae. This one has got a ligament going to this one to this one, this one to this one, and so on and so forth. But we want flexibility here because they are flexible. Tendons are quite elastic. They have this flexible, elastic quality to them. And we want to develop that elastic quality. You hear of people occasionally tearing a ligament, you know, this sort of thing. Well, possibly because either too much movement on it or possibly their ligaments, were not very elastic. So everything we're doing in Tai Chi is about elasticating your tendons and your ligaments. It's about allowing the body to be so much more flexible. So it's like you're no longer like a balloon that's been overblown. So it's so hard. You just need a little bit of give. An aerobics ball, you know, which you can push on, and it's got some give, but it's got a suppleness about it. That's what we're after with the body.